This is the Coleman 6-person instant camping tent I've been using on a few car camping weekends, and a backyard overnighter to shake it down. My first impression was simple. It pops up fast. The pre-attached pull system is as advertised. I pull it out of the bag, unfold, extend the legs, and the frame locks with those push-button clips. I can get it standing in about a minute solo. Then, another minute to stake the corners and guy it out. Takedown is just as easy. I collapse the legs, fold the body, and the expandable carry bag with the rip strip actually fits the tent without wrestling. For me, the speed changes how I camp. I can roll into camp at dusk and be ready to cook before dark. Key features I notice right away. The cabin shape gives you real headroom, about 6 feet in the middle, with near vertical walls. It feels open inside. The 10x9 footprint is plenty for a small group. 2 queen air beds do fit, but when I tried that layout, there wasn't any walkway left. I prefer 1 queen and bins along the sides, which leaves room to move and change clothes standing up. Ventilation on dry days is great. 5 big windows and roof vents move air nicely, and the tent never felt stuffy in warm weather. From my experience, the frame is sturdy once everything is staked and guyed. The steel poles are thick, and the guy-out points have good angles. We had a blustery afternoon with steady gusts, and the tent didn't buckle. If you skip the guy lines, the tall, flat walls will catch wind, so I always run the lines. The fabric itself is beefy. It's a double-thick polyester that stands up to kids bouncing around and the usual camp abrasion. The floor is a heavy-duty tarp-style material that feels confidence-inspiring underfoot. I still use a ground tarp to protect it from gravel. Now, the part that matters if you're new to tents. A typical weather tent uses a double-wall design, a breathable inner tent plus a separate rainfly that creates an air gap and sheds rain. This model is a single-wall design with a small vent cover on top. The integrated vented rainfly is really just a cap over the roof vents to let air flow. It does not cover the vertical walls. In my opinion, this design is the tent's big trade-off. It's how you get that instant setup and big cabin feel, but it costs you reliable wet weather performance. I tested it through a light to moderate night of rain at a state park and a short backyard sprinkle. Water protection was mixed. With everything zipped and the guy lines tight, the floor stayed dry and I didn't see water wicking up from the ground. Where I ran into trouble was the walls and some zipper areas during a longer shower with wind. I saw water bead and then slowly seep through the wall fabric, and I had a couple of drips off the zipper flap when the wind pushed rain sideways. Nothing catastrophic that night, but I did end up drying out a sleeping bag corner and mopping a small puddle near a window seam by morning. On the backyard test with colder air, I also had noticeable condensation, moisture from breathing collecting on the inside and occasionally dripping. That's typical with single-wall tents in cool, humid conditions when you close windows to keep rain out. I tried the optional full rain fly on a later trip. It helps a lot with roof coverage and gives you extra protection from straight-down rain, but it still isn't a true wraparound fly that turns this into a classic double wall. In wind-driven rain, the walls can still get wet. If you plan to ride out real weather, you'll want to add more layers of defense. Pitch on high, well-drained ground. Stake and guy every point. Use a taut pitch so water doesn't sit on fabric. Add a footprint slightly smaller than the floor, and consider seam sealing around windows plus a light DWR refresh on the outer fabric. Those steps improved my results, but I still treat this as a fair weather first tent. Day-to-day living inside is a mix of comfort and a couple of misses. The space and standing height are fantastic, and the big windows are a joy on a breezy afternoon. The door opens wide, but the zipper can catch if I rush. Storage is minimal, just 2 small pockets, so I bring a hanging organizer and keep shoes in a bin by the door. There's no vestibule, which means wet boots and packs end up inside unless you rig a tarp. Packed size is long and fairly heavy because of the pre-attached frame. I park close to the site. This is not a hike-in tent for me. It's perfect for quick 1 or 2 night car camping trips, beach days, a tailgate base, or a backyard sleepover when the forecast looks dry. If you want a tent that goes from trunk to pitched in a minute and you value stand-up room, this delivers. If you're planning shoulder season trips, misty mornings, or any chance of prolonged rain, this is where expectations matter. From my experience, the strengths are real. The instant setup is legit, takedown is painless, the cabin space is comfortable, and the frame is impressively steady when guyed. The weaknesses are also real. Limited wet weather resilience without a true fly, condensation on cool nights, and not much built-in storage. I've had mine for several seasons, and the fabric and frame are holding up well. I'm gentle with the door zipper, because that's usually where wear shows first. The floor has a couple of scuffs from rocky sites, so I don't skip the footprint. I'd recommend this for campers who want maximum convenience, families who value space and quick setup for fair weather weekends, and anyone who hates fussing with a bundle of loose poles. If your trips often include uncertain weather or mountain storms, I'd point you toward a tent with a full coverage rainfly and a classic double wall design. In my opinion, Coleman nailed the speed, space, and simplicity, and that's what makes this tent fun to use. Just pair it with smart site selection and a conservative forecast. If you need storm armor, choose differently, or at least plan to add the accessory fly, seam work, and careful pitching. In conclusion, I enjoy this tent for what it is, a super fast, stand-up friendly shelter that shines on clear nights and casual car camping. Manage the trade-offs. And it's a solid part of a weekend kit. I will share detailed information about the Coleman 6-person instant camping tent in the comments section. Everyone, thank you for watching.